Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Zain News Live, and welcome to this English news edition coming up in the next 20 minutes. Late Algerian hero Hussein Ait Ahmed was buried in his native village, Ahmed, today, Friday. Plus, after the 2016 finance law was ratified by the President of the Republic, Abdelaziz Bouteflika, the first day of the new year witnesses a rise in fuel prices. And later on in our news program, German officials say there is no sign of any imminent terror attack after an alert that shut down the two Munich railway stations on New Year's Eve. Hello there, wherever you are. Thanks for joining us. First in our top stories, the late Mujahid, war veteran and politician Hussein Ait Ahmed, or the Hussein, was buried today, Friday, in his native village of Ahmed, Tizi Ouzou, in the presence of a large crowd that included notably senior state officials, relatives and friends of the deceased. Always with the same context, the funeral procession, which started from the national headquarters of the Socialist Forces Front Party FFS in Algiers, arrived in Ait Ahmed village in Ain El Hammam, passing through the municipalities of Belouzdad in Algiers, Issers in Boumerdes, before reaching Tizi Ouzou. Hussein Ait Ahmed died on Wednesday, the 23rd of December, in Lausanne, Switzerland, aged 89. Lamia Ashush has more on this detail.
The clock says 4 p.m. in the Algiers International Airport. On the very last day of 2015, the plane carrying the body of late Algerian revolutionary figure Hussein Ait Ahmed just landed home. After a long absence, his fate is to return to the country he dedicated his life to in a coffin. In the honorary hall, high-ranked officials from different backgrounds paid their last respects. He was then carried on the shoulders of Algerians that are today free because of his sacrifices and those of others like him. His body then toured the streets of Algiers, the capital. The next stop was the headquarters of the FFS party, of which he will always be the eternal leader and the spiritual father of its militants, who all gathered to take a last look at his lifeless body in a sad and overwhelming funeral atmosphere. January 1st, 2016, his last earthly destination is his hometown in Tizi Ouzou province, amid extraordinary security measures. Citizens gathered in great numbers, coming from different regions of the country, waiting for their hero. Hussein Ait Ahmed's wish is thus fulfilled, to have a popular funeral amongst the citizens and to be buried next to his mother. May his soul rest in eternal peace.
Indeed, may he rest in peace. And now moving on to other national news. After the 2016 finance law was ratified by the President of the Republic, Abdelaziz Bouteflika, the first day of the new year has witnessed a rise in fuel prices, which provoked people's anger. Siham Sadou for more details.
Fuel prices, as expected, hiked at midnight yesterday, while people were celebrating the new year. The government aims by these measures to counter the negative effects of the plunge in oil prices. However, citizens voiced their anger at all gas stations in different Algerian territories.
Everything will increase. I'm not happy. Prices increased sharply. It is not fair. Industrialized countries decrease their prices, whereas in Algeria, we have to bear austerity measures.
From the early morning hours of Friday, January the 1st, Algerian motorists discovered the new fueling prices displayed in all the country's gas stations. And pleasant surprise, they're a bit higher as expected. Not for diesel, which increased by around 7 dinars, reaching 18.76 dinars. What is more alarming, the price of super fuel that reached 31.42 dinars, whereas premium unleaded from 31.02 to 22.60 dinars.
11 dinars is too much. It's too expensive, let me tell you. I use refined fuel. But let me tell you that this increase is not adequate with the arrival of the new year. They do exaggerate.
The government affirms that fuel price increases to streamline and save excessive consumption, including that of diesel. The accumulated balance of fuel imports by Algeria in 2012, 2013 and 2014 reached 5.7 billion. National company Sonatrach announced it would cease to import by the end of 2015 after the renovation of refineries production in Algiers, Skikda and Arzew.
Today, Friday morning, the new air station of the International Rabah Bitat Airport of the eastern province of Annaba was put into service. The first international flight headed today around 9 local time towards the French capital, Paris, in the presence of Transport Minister Boujema Talai and General Director of Customs Authorities. Minister of Transport revealed in this regard that this international station will soon start new international lines, including Annaba Milan and Annaba Istanbul. Hints Minaras.
After 15 years of waiting due to endless tickering policy, Annaba's Rabah Bitat International Airport was finally inaugurated under the firm circumstances and intensified efforts of the Transport Ministry since appointing Boujema Talai as the head of the ministry and assigning this task to him.
We ask God to protect our country, and congratulations for us on this achievement. It's really luxurious in here, not like what it used to be before. That's quite a changement. The new airport is any better than its precedents. It's warm and welcoming. It invites you in. The old one was a catastrophe. I live in Marseille, France, and it's safe to say this airport is better than that of Marseille.
Annaba's newest airport will most likely offer the most luxurious of services, being at the service of more than 700,000 passengers after only absorbing a mere 250,000 passengers yearly.
Today, we inaugurated the international airport with 3 flights to France kicking off. In January, we'll program the opening domestic flights, gradually commuting anglais and Tassili air workers in here. The civil society has requested for a direct line from Annaba to Milan. We're currently discussing this with our Italian counterparts. Those requesting for Istanbul-Annaba direct line, as well as it is being considered, if not this summer, next year.
So it's the newest achievement in the eastern jewel, the province of Annaba, and for its citizens, with Minister Talai fulfilling his promises in due time, just hours before the start of the new year 2016.
The field of journalism appears to have a huge impact on younger generation. This is the case of a group of youngsters whose ambitions to become future journalists drove them to be part of a motivated group that toured Algeria's media outlets in order to better grasp the noble profession of journalism. Siam Sado for more details.
You want to join it, okay? Hello, everybody. Hi.
Journalism seems to inspire the youth generation, such as the case of a group of teenagers whose velvet ambitions could clearly be noted after touring some media institutions for a better understanding of the noble profession. That is journalism, especially the impact of mass media in Algeria. A workshop with their tutor organized by Bravo Language School in Algiers, they went over the details and collected the maximum of information to probably integrate the word of journalism in the future.
For me, a good journalist must be honest, must be credible. He must love his job and he must research about information and give it to the followers and telespectators. He must be serious and work really hard.
It's opportunity to know more people and I don't know, communicate and discover our culture or something like that. It's very big and it's very wonderful.
Being a reporter is quite harsh in Algeria. Many reporters take risks to cover events. Since 1992, more than 60 journalists were killed in Algeria during the Black Ticket period. But this did not seem to stop the youth from wanting to pursue this profession.
As for me, and as what I saw yesterday from them, journalists must be strong, have a strong personality.
Nowadays, journalism takes many forms, including content published via newspapers and magazines, television and radio broadcast, and their digital media versions, as well as news websites and applications. Teenagers showed other passions, such as watching documentaries and being professional photographer.
I think the media in our country is still weak and they are not at the level of like America or the Europe media.
Journalism is a good career, but here in Algeria they make us see the bad impression about or picture about the journalism.
With the explosion of private TV channels in Algeria, more opportunities remain open for the new generation, who seems to have a great potential to succeed, either in written press or the audiovisual sector.
Dear viewers, we come to the end of the special news edition where we share different points of view to how to be a good reporter. Thanks for watching and goodbye.
Moving on to world news, breathtaking and spectacular fireworks were launched across the globe as each country observed the countdown for the new year 2016. However, the world celebrated the event amidst terror alert and a major fire in a luxury hotel. People still welcomed the new year worldwide under heightened security measures. Karim Fassakri.
Spectacular fireworks, terror alert, and a major fire in a luxury hotel. Under heightened security, people welcomed the New Year worldwide. In Paris, the Champs-Élysées was at the heart of the French capital's New Year's festivities. The usual fireworks display was cancelled, and a video performance was instead projected on the Arc de Triomphe. Across the Channel, in London, thousands lined the banks of the River Thames as the night sky was filled with fireworks. The London Eye provided the backdrop for the stunning display. Hundreds of thousands of revelers attended Germany's biggest New Year's Eve party at Berlin's Brandenburg Gate. 8 minutes of fireworks rang in the new year at the historic landmark just after midnight, amidst information on imminent attacks overshadowed. Worldwide, the celebrations held witnessed heightened security. In Brussels, for example, celebrations were cancelled for fear of attacks, whereas in Moscow, the Red Square was closed. Moscow marked the arrival of 2016 with traditional fireworks over the Kremlin. Many Muscovites gather along the Moskva River to see the colorful celebrations as Russia welcomed in the new year. More than 1 million people in New York's Times Square hailed the arrival of 2016, marked by the descent of the traditional lighted crystal ball from amid glittering fireworks and a blizzard of confetti. Rio de Janeiro's Copacabana beach was the location of a New Year's Eve samba celebration. Most of the 2 million people along the famous beach wore white to represent renewal and peace. The Australian metropolis, Sydney, heralds the round of big New Year celebrations around the globe. In Egypt, the pyramids of Giza glistened in the New Year's Eve. While in Dubai, a major fire broke in a luxury hotel before the celebrations. 16 people were injured, yet the fireworks show took place at the highest skyscraper in the world anyway. Happy New Year, everyone. Wishing for a better world of peace and prosperity for everybody.
In other developments, German officials say there is no sign of any imminent terror attack after an alert that shut down 2 Munich railway stations on New Year's Eve. That warning spoke of a threat from the so-called Islamic State suicide bombers. Police say they are looking for 5 to 7 suspects believed to be Iraqis and Syrians. Siham Sadou.
Celebrating the coming of the New Year 2016, terrorism continues to seize every opportunity to terrorize Western populations. This time, Germany, where the Bavaria's Interior Minister Joachim Herrmann announced on Friday ISIS terrorist group was behind a planned terrorist attack in Munich, causing fear. At the New Year's Eve, police evacuated 2 major railway stations in Munich after an intelligence agency warned Germany of an imminent attack. The alert in Munich came just hours before midnight, and police warned people to stay away from crowds. Yesterday, Munich authorities received information that suicide bombers from the so-called Islamic State ISIS could target the central or passing station. The 4 cities across Europe have been on alert for a possible New Year's Eve attack. Local media reports say the information had come from French authorities. The city's police said they had called on reinforcements from southern Bavaria, and special police units were already operating in the city. Security concerns had already caused New Year's celebration to be cancelled or limited in other European cities. The authorities in Brussels called off all official events after 3 people were detained on Thursday in connection with the alleged New Year's Eve plot. In Paris, the traditional fireworks display has been called off, but thousands of people have been celebrating the New Year on the Champs-Élysées. Since last month's attacks, more than 100,000 people were deployed across France.
An investigation began today, Friday, into the cause of a huge fire that ripped through a 63-floor luxury hotel in Dubai on New Year's Eve, the latest of several blazes to hit the city's skyscrapers in recent years. 14 people were injured in the fire at the Address Hotel, downtown Dubai, near the world's tallest building, Burj Al Khalifa. Mustafa Azzouk.
It was all quiet and set. All eyes were shifted towards the tallest building in the world, Burj Khalifa, waiting for New Year's fireworks display, until a massive skyscraper fire engulfed part of the luxury Address Hotel in Dubai. The blaze started at around 9:30 p.m. Local authorities said the fire had since been brought down without any fatalities, although parts of the Address downtown hotel are still smoldering. Dubai authorities said at least 14 people were slightly injured and 1 person suffered a heart attack from the smoke and overcrowding during an evacuation. The inferno sent bystanders scattering and shoppers in a nearby mall. A large fireworks display later went ahead at the world's tallest tower in Dubai, Burj Khalifa, in front of tens of thousands of people, while plumes of smoke continued to billow from the nearby fire. It took 4 hours for firefighters to put out the fire.
And finally, the art of interior design is witnessing its introduction into Algerians' lifestyle. So many Algerian families became so selective about their house design and are therefore more and more hiring interior designers, much to the delight of the latter. Hence من الراس.
Interior design, the art of designing architectural interiors and their furnishings, can be such a fascinating and passionate job for artsy people, guaranteeing a certain flourishing career. Having witnessed a growing fame in the Western world, following its introduction in Algeria, local interior designers couldn't be happier.
Decoration is art. You have to be an artist, someone who is sensitive to colors and shapes to create a cozy atmosphere. Here in Algeria, people started to have an interest in this. They are calling for interior designers to achieve their dreams.
Talented art school graduate Zola Janan, an aspiring interior designer, has made of this job her life, passion, and true love, dedicating a fair amount of her time, effort, and skills to make not only her clients satisfied, but herself as well. And the result's a warm, cozy, and stunning decoration.
My heart, pull everything apart. Are you gonna be my love?
Doing interior design in a country like ours is not something Algerians are used to, though. And boy, it can take a lot to satisfy a client. For every job has its advantages and its inconveniences.
Le premier contact avec le client, c'est discuter.
During the first contact with the client, we talk to see what they want. We talk about their dreams and the styles they like. As a decorator, I find a lot of difficulties material-wise. When we purchase materials, we search for quantity here.
When I was really struggling concerning the decorations, what I wanted to realize, we have discussed very different aspects what I wanted to realize, and then she came and we suggested like some other decoration, and we agreed. She respected all the requirements that I wanted to realize. I wanted the atmosphere to be a family atmosphere, and this is what she did. It was very good, and now we have the result. I'm really satisfied about the result.
Algerians, on the other hand, are welcoming the idea of hiring an interior designer, each according to their means, situation, and the degree of openness to work with professionals.
Since there are young people launching their careers in interior design, it will certainly serve their interest and will be bénéfique pour tous les Algériens. In the future, for my business, I would hire interior designers. Seeing these restaurants, you can see these people like what they do.
By the looks of it, interior design in Algeria is definitely here to stay, proving to be a successful business for people willing to invest in it, and choosing it as a career will prove to be fruitful if one believes enough in themselves.
Before we wrap up, let's have a reminder of our main top stories. Late Algerian hero Hussein Ait Ahmed was buried in his native village Ahmed today, Friday. After the 2016 finance law was ratified by the President of the Republic, Abdelaziz Bouteflika, the first day of the new year witnesses a rise in fuel prices. German officials say there is no sign of any imminent terror attack after an alert that shut down two Munich railway stations on New Year's Eve. The end of our English news edition. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye for now.